Hello everybody and welcome to my channel, The Real Super Sam. Today is a brand new top 5 best stories video and I hope you enjoy. So far, I've only done one top 5 stories list on a Superman villain, my favorite, Parasite. Now, on to maybe my second favorite, Metallo. Metallo is a superpowered threat. He is a cyborg with a human mind and has Superman's greatest weakness, kryptonite, as his heart, his power source. Metallo is one of my favorite Superman villains, and his best stories make him just a great comic book character. Now everyone, this is the top 5 best Metallo stories. Number 5. Doom in the Heartland. In Superman Volume 2, Issue 20, had Superman team up with the new Doom Patrol and the return of one of his greatest foes, Metallo. Today, Superman gets in the middle of a situation where Metallo is fighting Robot Man, who has changed his name to Steel. Metallo, though, manages to control Robot Man's body and as his own to help him fight the rest of the Doom Patrol. But the rest of the team managed to stop this cyborg with Superman's help fighting Robot Man by taking his head off, and he stops the threat. Metallo gets destroyed for the first time. This new Doom Patrol is very violent, and Metallo didn't have a chance. The thing that brings this story up is Metallo's planning, and the reason he's able to control Robot Man is thanks to his knowledge of LexCorp technology, which Robot Man used for his replacements. Metallo also has a robot army. This is probably the number one story of his where I can think of him as like the Terminator. He may not look as powerful as in the future stories, but he looks creepy. Number 4. Heart of Stone. The first 2 issues of the second volume of Superman had the first appearance of the second Metallo, John Corbin. A big strong man is robbing the Commerce Bank today. He says his name's Metallo and he will be in a man to kill Superman. We then get flashbacks to a man waking up in a lab. He almost died, but a mysterious item called kryptonite was somehow used to save his life. Metallo gets manipulated to think that the public is wrong and that Superman is the villain. So that's why Metallo is fighting Superman today, and also he's just a bad dude since he killed the doctor who saved his life. Metallo almost kills Superman in the battle, but before the final blow, something distracts him and he stops. We learn in the next issue is Lex Luthor, and he did it to get the piece of kryptonite from his chest to use it against Superman. It has a great battle between Metallo and Superman. The story also gave us his origin. It was way better than the first one's first appearance. Metallo actually is victorious over Superman, something that doesn't happen often, if any time except for this. Number 3. Strange Visitor, The End. Superman Secret Origins issues 5 and 6 introduced us to a very different origin from Metallo, which was also the end of the 6-issue series. Sergeant John Corbin introduces himself as a weirdo, as he won't leave Lois alone and only leaves after Clark Kent stares him down. In Luthor's secret lab, he reveals to General Sam Lane the theory that Superman is an alien. He also tells him that Superman can probably be stopped by the green glowing rock in Luthor's control, hence the new weapon, but also made of LexCorp's Metallo alloy, powered by the rock and piloted by none other than John Corbin. Superman later arrives for an interview with Sam Lane, and when he leaves, soldiers attack him, and so does John Corbin in his Metallo armor, but Superman easily avoids his punches. But then Corbin unshields the kryptonite and weakens Superman. Superman manages to get a ricocheting bullet to hit the kryptonite, and that explodes the Metallo armor and seriously hurts Corbin. Lex Luthor says he can save Corbin's life, and to do so, he turns him into Metallo. Metallo attacks him with a kryptonite ray, threatening the bystanders, but Superman melts a manhole cover over the kryptonite and flies Metallo into space until lack of oxygen knocks him out. Metallo to me is mostly a bad guy because deep down he really is a supervillain, and this story made his dark ways obvious from the start. Him becoming Metallo and becoming rivals with Superman helped cement him as a villain. I wish Metallo was around in comics more. I love his suit here and the battle damage he gets in the fight. Number 2. The World's Finest. Superman Batman issue 1 had the world's greatest superheroes team up against Metallo. The never-ending battle begins in Metropolis with Metallo attacking Star Labs for reasons unknown. After blasting Superman with a dose of kryptonite from his heart, Metallo flees, informing Superman that nothing will stop him from, quote, putting an end to it. The rest is sort of like the animated movie, Superman Batman Public Enemies, except it's more entertaining and has a story for Metallo. Metallo is carrying out his coffin, and Superman and Batman are here to take him to jail for before. During the fight, we see that Metallo has a new power to turn his hand into different objects, like a gun, and he shoots Superman in the heart with a piece of his own heart in his new body, kryptonite. Metallo wins at the end and buries them alive. Sure, he doesn't actually kill them, but he gets away. To make the story even more interesting for Metallo, it's his birthday. This is my favorite Metallo fight in comics, and the story was very unique and important for understanding the interesting facts about Metallo's character. Number 1, Full Metal Jacket. The New 52 Origin from Metallo is my favorite Metallo comic book of all time. Published during Forever Evil, it's labeled as Action Comics issue 23.4. John Corbin was the first test subject for Project Metal Zero. He's in a comatose state since earlier, thanks to Brainiac. He was mind-controlled to fight Superman, and Superman won, leaving him for death. Today, the scientists are going to experiment with kryptonite to wake him up. It works, waking him up almost instantly and giving him more power than ever before. Still, after waking up, Corbin is deemed mentally unstable but still goes into the field. He causes a bunch of chaos and becomes too brutal, forcing General Sam Lane to pull the plug on him and blow up the plane he's in to kill him. John survives and walks like a zombie to Sam Lane's base and easily drives through all the soldiers and heads to Lane. But then another member of the Metal Zero program, one who's stronger and mentally stable, starts to fight Corbin to protect his brothers in arms from this monster. A lot of the reason this is number 1 is the story gave us a more realistic Metallo origin story and a more realistic costume. We see the ways Metallo thinks, and reading about a villain's point of view is always interesting. He was always a more aggressive, mature person, and after some bad situations, Corbin snaps and he becomes a supervillain. The ending is the push to give this the number 1 spot. My favorite supervillain, the Scarecrow, shows up and at the end recruits him into this group called the Secret Society. He has rescued Metallo so they can work with him, and he agrees. Seeing Metallo have to face a stronger version of himself puts into the conflict of everyone in that situation. Metallo is now finding his past self, or the self everyone wanted him to be like after he woke up. He just isn't like that anymore, and since he's not, he goes low and manages to kill the second Metal Zero, kill the good version of himself, giving Metallo more meaning to himself to turn evil. So this is my favorite Metallo story. It was a fun, fast read with a lot of context and great images for this interpretation of the villain. Honestly, I think I like Metallo more outside the comics than in. His media appearances make him more interesting and have more character and story than his actual appearance, at least from what I see. With this video completed, thanks for watching. Bye guys, and have a great day.